Basically turned it into outtakes. We
They,
could have had
they
that joint
address,
popping.
we gotta address that. Go ahead. We gonna talk about that Sixers game?
Welcome. Yeah, Philly Sports Uncensored, Philadelphia Sports Podcast. You know where we at YouTube, Spotify, and Facebook. All right, one game under the belt. Sixers 1-0. Washington Wizards. Was the score 113, 107? I think it was something like that.
Yep.
113. What's your thoughts? I got a whole lot to say, and ain't none of it good. It's like no, some good stuff. What y'all think? I'll wait, and then I'll come in and shoot all y'all theories down.
Well, go ahead.
What I didn't want to see, we know that come playoff time, we gonna have to lean on a big fella. But I ain't think it would come this soon in a year. The first game, big fella had to come save us.
All right, before you get into the negative, I enjoyed the game. The game yesterday was very entertaining, but at the same time, we knew there was a bunch of new parts coming together for the first time in a real live game, and we noticed that. Now, the good, let me say, is the good. The good was Joel Embiid is still Joel Embiid. He's still a go-to guy that we can rely on throughout the games. That's our home run hitter. We know that from the door, and so that was encouraging. Another thing that was encouraging for me was the young boy Shake Milton coming off the bench. He's going to surprise a lot of people this year, in my opinion. I love the fact that Doc believes in him early, because ain't nothing like having a coach that believes in you. I mean, ask Markel Fultz.
It's a little echo. Do y'all hear the echo?
I don't.
I heard an echo when Tim was talking. Go ahead.
All right. And then another thing that I thought that was pretty good is the fact that well, I'm not gonna say good. Actually, I got a couple things that kind of irritate me. Furkan should not get 20 minutes a game.
I agree.
Especially with Thibault getting like 1 or 2.
Yeah. So Doc gonna realize that he can't rely on Furkan right now. He's the little new gift, new prize that he has. But he's gonna learn the hard way that Furkan.
Let me ask a question though, right? I think Tim do got some kickback in there. You must got a speaker on in the background. But Ethan, what do you expect Embiid to average this year in order to be considered? What do you want Embiid to average this year?
It depends on what. Really, it depends on what the supporting cast does.
I mean, me personally, I would like to see at least what he had when he was MVP candidate when it was 27. And I'm asking that because you're saying the big fella had to bail us out. He had 29. I want to expect to see him to have around in that area on a regular basis. That's what I want to see him averaging around there.
I agree.
So I don't think that it was like he had to play out of the ordinary to get there. I mean,
that's not. I don't. He don't need to get. First of all, you got to have your supporting cast. Who's your big three? I mean, with the
Tobias struggled.
I don't even think Washington's going to be a good team this year. I mean, it's the first game, so I can't harp too much. Danny Green stinks, like I told y'all before. But
Washington will make the playoffs.
I don't think so.
Why not?
Because all right, and I think we talked about this a little earlier. The top 5 teams in the NBA right now.
Yeah, you said the top 5, so now you go to 6, 7, and 8.
So I think Orlando gonna be better than Washington.
No, they're not.
No, you got Indiana.
Yeah, they are.
Indiana will be better.
Either. Washington just missed the playoffs, and they didn't have anybody as a point guard.
Orlando.
Now they're inserting Westbrook in there, and you bring Westbrook stats onto that team. They got Bertans. They got they big men that actually serviceable.
Hold on. What team has Westbrook ever made better?
His teams used to go to playoffs though in the West that you was hyping up.
It was always 7th or 8th.
Okay, in the West, you was the one just talking about how much better the West was. So now he's coming to the East, and you don't think that he's going to make a difference on that team and them going to the playoffs?
If he make it, he barely going to make it. But I don't think they're going to make it. I think
first of all, I think Atlanta will make it, and I think
I gotta see about Atlanta.
Atlanta has a really good team, and they got better.
Yeah, I was going to say Atlanta too, Tim.
So
they're gonna be Washington gonna be thugging out with like the Detroit Pistons and stuff like that.
Even the Raptors, I don't even know. The Raptors might still be in the mix too. So it's gonna be a struggle for Washington to get in.
Well, hold
Yeah.
on. I'm interested in what y'all saying about and talking about the Sixers. So what is it that y'all didn't like about the Sixers game, or that y'all thought what was the bad that y'all took away from it?
I mean,
It was the first game to me, so
it was
go ahead. You ain't get a chance. Go ahead.
seeing as the first game, I don't want to overreact. Even with like Seth Curry, he wasn't hitting as much as I expected him to hit. Even Danny Green, like I was saying this before, he's hot and cold. Like he like a J.R. Smith. He the light skin version, or the lighter skin version of J.R. Smith. He could go. Even the shots that he missed, it wasn't bad misses. These joints was barely like barely rattling out. So.
Yeah.
He gonna have a couple games where he hit 5, 6 threes, and he gonna have a couple games where he go 1'8", like he or whatever he did yesterday, something like that. So I'm expecting that from him. Ben, I've been very critical of Ben. I'm still gonna be very critical of Ben. However, I will say I do like the fact that he was aggressive. He came out aggressive. I was talking to my man John Adams. Shout out to John. He watched the show all the time. Me and him were just talking earlier. And he was saying some of the similar things as well about Ben being aggressive and all that, and having the shooters around him, kind of what we were talking about before. Yeah. However, that being said, looking at the scope, the top tier teams, in particular the Nets, who I'm still not always sold on from a unity standpoint. I still want to see how this whole thing gonna work throughout the year when they run into some tough times and KD and Kyrie and all that. But skill-wise, I think we might need some more firepower if we want to get past the Nets.
That's what I was going to say.
I ain't gonna hold y'all. I think because if they gel and they stay mentally together, we ain't gonna be able to beat them with the offensive firepower we got. I don't think so.
They're very deep too. They're very deep.
They are.
It just feels like we need another
score.
Yeah, I don't. It just felt. I mean, Shake can get his bucket. I like the rookie too.
We got too many inconsistent bulls. Tobias been inconsistent. Green gonna be inconsistent. I think Seth is gonna be what he's gonna be. I think he's gonna give you 12 to 15 on any given night. I think that's gonna be solid. Ben obviously is Ben. Bede, I agree with Wayne. I think he should be averaging between 27 and 30 points a game. I think with Doc he will. I think this is what we're seeing is a foregleam of things to come with Ben. Hopefully, I mean with Bede. But Shake, I mean, he might have been a lot more. You might have put Maxey in a lot more. Maxey going to give you more consistent offense than Korkmaz. I don't like Korkmaz. I mean, he could hit the three on occasion if he get open.
He's going to give you more than Thibault too.
But I might go with Maxey a little.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think Maxey's more offensive threat than Thibault.
Maxey was a nice change of pace, a nice little spark to come in or whatever. But I mean, he scored early, then he kind of faded out.
I want to see.
He ain't get no time.
I want to see.
He started out 3 for 4. What he finished? Like
3 for 6.
No, he only got like 2-3 minutes in the second half.
Yeah, he only got a couple minutes after that.
He did a lot of. He was like an athletic JJ out there.
But
I mean, an athletic TJ.
Is developed. I want to see that.
No, whoa. No.
I'm trolling.
Okay, all right. But I'm saying,
I know y'all killed Cork, but I mean, Cork ain't really have that bad of a game. Maybe he had a couple minutes too much, but I do want to see
because defensively, he was getting cooked. Honestly,
I do want to see him develop. Keep developing Shake, man. Bring him on, and I want to see him develop Max.
Listen,
that's what you don't see in this organization. For years, I haven't seen them develop players.
Last year, this is what I saw from Shake when he came back up from the D League or G League, whatever they call it. He looked like he was more aggressive and he was comfortable till Brett started yanking him around a little bit back and forth.
Yeah.
What I noticed in this game in particular, I don't know if this is going to carry over throughout the season. Shake's defense was outstanding last night, and I don't think enough people was talking about it. They had him matched up against Westbrook. He made it tough on Westbrook to score and on Beal. He actually played some solid defense. Came up with a couple crucial turnovers down the stretch too. So I thought Shake, his all-around game, I thought his defense was better than I expected him to be.
I might want to see him starting for Danny Green.
I think I would too. I think you can see even him coming off the bench. I think Shake can average 17, 18 points a game.
See, what I was encouraged by, we have a complete second unit that we didn't have last year or the year before last. That second unit of Dwight Howard and Maxey, and he substitutes about 3 or 4 at the same time. And when they came in the game yesterday, that shot everything up. Like we took off as far as scoring. And then when he started bringing Danny Green, by the way, Danny Green was so horrible yesterday. He was like minus 27 on the floor. And then when we brought in Shake, we was like a plus 31. And they never played any time together on the floor at all yesterday. That's how bad Danny Green was yesterday. And they actually in the press conference, they asked Doc about Danny Green and not playing. They said, if you realize Danny doesn't play a lot of minutes, he didn't play a lot of minutes with LA. He said he's an older player. He's going to play what he's going to play.
Ain't got nothing to do with him being older.
But that's true. But as far as he's just saying, they were trying to say,
y'all act like we all didn't watch what he did the whole playoffs. Like, come on.
I know, but the media
He was streaky.
They was trying to.
My only thing with Green was I like the fact with Green and with Howard that they came off a championship team. I like the fact that we have some veterans that have some like some winning experience. And this has been a problem in this organization for the longest time. We didn't have the winning. We had this losing mentality, and then the free agents we brought in here were not winners. It was like random, like really dudes that wasn't really about like really didn't have a winning pedigree. So I like the fact that we brought these guys in there. And I'm gonna tell you, Dwight Howard, I think, is going to be such a crucial pickup for us that we got.
Yeah,
because that's even like after the game, they talked about it. Ben Simmons went and shot around after the game. He wasn't happy with his shooting. So he went out and was shooting around, and Dwight Howard was with him. And they said how Dwight Howard is challenging him to shoot. And that's why Dwight was there with him. And then like even during the game, I saw like when Maxey came out and he was on the side, Dwight was over there talking to him and schooling him something. He like listening to Dwight. So I like that kind of stuff.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this thing right here, right? Ben Simmons. To me, I mean, I know everybody wants Ben to be a superstar. To me, he's not a superstar yet.
I could care less if he's a superstar as long as we winning.
What do you want? What?
See, that's my thing, though.
Hold on.
What would satisfy you? What would satisfy you?
Let me get to this because why he isn't self-driven enough to for me. You need Dwight Howard to come in here and force and get in your head to get you to take jumpers after practice. Like, come on, man.
Ain't nobody say that Dwight Howard made him take jumpers. He chose to take jumpers.
He's taking jumpers. Dwight Howard encouraged him to go out there and take jumpers. You don't have your own
came out there to support him.
No, somebody had to get Jordan to shoot jumpers after practice.
You kill me because
somebody had to get Kobe to shoot jumpers after practice.
That's
everybody need an old head.
Let me do this, Tim, because we went through the game. As we going through the game, right now, I didn't get to watch the game till this morning. So as I'm watching a little bit of it, Ethan on the text board. Oh, Seth, what a big shot! Seth struggled all game. Ben Simmons got 2 layups down the street, a layup and a dunk. He got a block and a steal. He did not give Ben no props that whole joint, but Seth Curry hit one floater, and he like, Seth Curry, he balling. That's what I'm saying. Stop the hate,
Hold on. All right, let me ask you this. When we started coming back, who was in the game?
Our bench.
No. When we started coming back, it was the starters. They took Danny Green out and they had Shake in there.
I mean, which time? Because we came back twice. We came back twice.
In the fourth quarter. I think what B had.
It was Shake. It was Shake.
That's what I'm talking about.
It was Shake. Ben
was in there too.
It was,
but Shake had a lot of the ball.
Ben was on the ball.
So what?
He was on the ball.
So what?
So what?
Okay.
They ran Ben off the ball. Ben still scored. Him and Shake scored about the same amount in the fourth quarter.
Listen, y'all could big Ben up.
No. Listen, even my fault. Real quick though, I'm not trying to see. Remember, this is my whole stance is Ben is what he is. So I'm cool with what he put in there. Like I'm just saying, like how you came on and you said, Ben gave what he, you want him to be a certain way. But I'm saying, don't sit here and talk like he was trash and did nothing in the game when he was a big part of them winning too.
No, I mean, he was aggressive. I mean, my whole thing, and I'm going to stand by this, and we'll see if I'm proven wrong if they stay packed with Ben and don't make no trades. I do not think you can win a championship with him as your point guard. I don't. I think your point guard needs to be at least some threat offensively to pull, especially as much as Ben holds the ball and tries to feed somebody like B or somebody like Dwight or somebody like even like your shooters. They could sag off Ben and kind of be ready to attack your shooters because he's not shooting. Now, we'll change it a little bit. What I will say, we'll give a little bit of credence to Ben's game if he's aggressive and he goes to the hole and he makes them little floaters, them little half hook shots, whatever he shoots.
You leaving out the fact that Shake is still on the floor with him in crucial times, especially towards the end.
I'm
just not going to have the ball.
He didn't have the ball.
Your concern is not going to be valid if Shake is on the ball.
But my thing, Tim, I hear what you're saying, but my thing is, if you just like the play I showed y'all before, and I wish I could put it on here, when it was the preseason game, when Tobias went to drive, they just walked away from Ben. Like he's not an offensive threat.
They just walked away from him last night, and guess what happened? He dunked.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. All right, he being aggressive, cool, but honestly, when you playing against better defensive teams come the playoffs, that's just like what happened before. I hate to keep referencing this Boston thing because it's a while ago, but the reason why I keep referencing
it was a whole different coach and a whole different scheme.
That's true, but
the same game.
Ben Simmons gave you 16 points, 9
Ben has my thing is Ben has the same game. Ben,
2 steals.
Ben game has not changed.
Do you understand his stat line yesterday?
I don't care that it hasn't.
And that's my point. I care because if it hasn't
changed, rebounds. He balled yesterday.
Look at Westbrook's stat line. He ain't never win jack.
If Ben remains the same, come the playoffs, he gonna put up garbage numbers again. He gonna stink it up, and he gonna cause it. He gonna be one of the reasons, if not the main reason, why we lose. That's all I'm saying. However, I'll say this. For the majority of the season, I'm not going to project. I'm not going to project ahead and say, all right, he's doing this, in the playoffs, he's going to get trashed. I'm going to try not to do that. I'll go game by game. Yesterday, Ben's game was solid. He put up his 16, his almost triple-double. His field goal percentage was good. What was his free throw percentage? I know he missed a couple.
Yeah, I think he was like 2 for 6 or something.
Yeah, he didn't do well in his free throw.
He was like 2 for 5, 2 for 6.
All right, so that's that. He still got to improve on that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, however, I'm I'm trying to look at yesterday's game. He was impactful. He actually had a block, I think, somewhere in the fourth quarter.
That was huge down the
stretch. That was pretty huge. It was pretty huge. So he was hustling. I give it to him. He's trying with the game that he has. I'll say that, and I'll leave it at that. I'm going to move on to Maxey, who I think is going to be the future of our backcourt. Maxey eventually they trade Ben, I don't know, whatever. But Shake Milton to me and Maxey, them boys got ball all in them. And Maxey coming in as a rookie, first game going 3 for 3, taking him to the rack the way he was, not scared to shoot. I'm loving what I see. Loving it. And don't you dare fix your face to hate. Don't you dare.
No. I know, because I like what I saw from Maxey.
No, as far as Kevin Durant, Wayne, real quick. Kevin Durant. Who's going to stick Kevin Durant on our team if we decide that Ben is not the
Maxey?
Exactly. Go ahead, Wayne. You next.
This is one thing I say when we talk about Ben Simmons, right? And if you feel like with Ben Simmons as a point guard, you can't do this, that, and other. So when we was playing, when we had Jimmy, you don't think that we couldn't have won with that team?
I do.
But and the same thing happened in the fourth quarter. Jimmy had the ball in his hands. So this is all I'm saying. And I'm not saying Shake is Jimmy yet, anything like that. But what I'm saying is with Jimmy handling the ball, with Shake handling the ball, I saw Doc running certain stuff that I didn't see happening with Brett. Honestly, we had a lot of open shots, even with Ben Simmons in there, because they was doubling down. They didn't want to give Bede the mid-range, and they didn't want to let Ben just sit down there on the block. Tobias just choked. He had like 3 wide open threes.
I agree. I guess I'll say this. I don't think you can win with Ben as this team is consistent. The team that we had with whatchamacallit? Jimmy Butler. We had JJ Redick shooting, sniper shooting. JJ Redick. I mean, Jimmy obviously going to bring you some offensive firepower. I think that team to me had a little bit more offensive prowess than so far this year.
That team had a worse bench.
Why couldn't Shake?
And they wasn't as good defensive.
Why couldn't Shake do it?
But we was very top heavy. Now top heavy was nice.
Why couldn't Shake play the role as Jimmy?
He's not. He's not as good as Jimmy Butler.
Well, I said why eventually.
Jimmy Butler's taller. How tall is Shake?
6'4", 6'5".
So why?
Jimmy Butler's 6'7". He's taller. He could get his shot better. He's more experienced. And he's more skilled.
Jimmy only averaged 19 points a game. Jimmy only averaged 19 a game.
But on this team, Jimmy ain't shoot that much. B was the man. But he's another consistent offensive weapon. I'm not saying Shake.
That's why he's saying why Shake can't. I'm not saying Shake is necessarily going to be like the rebounder, the total player Jimmy is. But if we're talking about offensive production, and I actually think that Shake plays, if he plays defense the way he just played, his defense was outstanding yesterday. Now
his defense was good.
So I need to see more.
Let me. So y'all expect a team, right? The Sixers to go 72 games at Ben playing the point guard. Then all of a sudden we get to the playoffs, everything changes.
It's not. Wasn't he still the point guard last night? But you said it yourself. Shake handled the ball in the fourth quarter. It'll be the same way it was when we had Jimmy. Ben handled it, but when it settled down and you get into that half court set down the stretch, you run Ben off ball more.
Why? Let me ask you this: why are we doing it when we need to, but we're not doing it during the rest of the game?
You don't necessarily need to during the rest of the game.
Hold on. If we need you saying if you need a buck, you need to do something, or somebody might foul you. You taking Ben off the ball, right? That's what you're saying. You taking Ben off the ball. Hold on. You taking Ben off the ball to spread the floor because Ben can't hit a foul shot.
You do realize the last couple of minutes of a fourth quarter is different from the rest of the game, don't you? You don't realize that that's a whole different thing?
I do, when does the point guard change in that situation? Just with the Sixers? Just with the Sixers.
It don't necessarily have to be. No, it's a lot of teams that run stuff different down the. That's why they say it don't matter who starts. It matters who finishes when teams, because you have certain lineups to run and do certain things.
Is that
the last couple minutes, the closing minutes of a fourth quarter? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Tom.
It's a inside-outside game that Shake and Embiid can play with each other. If they try to bring a double onto Embiid at the end, then he can push it out to Shake, and Shake can knock down the three or find an open man. It's a little bit more easier for Shake to play.
And if they leave the smaller guy down low on Ben Simmons, he can put. I actually thought the Sixers played more bully type ball than they ever did, which they should have did more of last year. I saw more of them playing physical inside.
Bede actually probably had his best year running around with JJ, pretty much. Playing screen and pop, pick and roll with JJ, pretty much.
Yeah, but our defense was suspect.
But that was B's best year, right?
Offensively, yep.
Okay.
And we doing pick and roll. We wasn't even playing the pick and roll. We're using the pick and roll.
And guess what? In the same way, everybody want to big up JJ. What did JJ do? Remember, that's why we lost, because JJ couldn't hit in the playoffs. Yeah. So we want to big up the shooters and JJ and everything JJ did in regular season. The playoffs, when we struggled in that year when we had JJ couldn't hit nothing because teams started strapping down on him.
Why are you blaming JJ? Why don't we blame the coach like we do when Ben came?
No, I am blaming the coach. I'm blaming the coach too, but I'm just saying it happens like that. Like sometimes that's just the way it is sometimes. But that's what I'm saying with this team. I'm looking at it as though I look at an improvement in the coaching and the play calling and the way that they played. For real, they didn't score for almost half the third quarter. They went into, there's no way in the world they should even been in that game.
Is Houston even interested in Ben Simmons anymore? That's the question. They might have saw it yesterday and said,
I don't think you know what? Wanted a straight up trade for Ben.
They're not going to trade. They don't want to trade him right away.
I bet you they want Shake.
They might not even want Ben no more. They might have moved on to Boston because they looked at Ben yesterday and said, you know what? Never mind.
Why? That's the same thing. If they wanted Ben before, they should still want him. That was exactly.
He just reminded them who he was again.
Yeah, we spent a little bit of time on Tobias.
I think my whole thing with Ben is he can be a solid player. He just, if his game stays the way it is, he'll never be a superstar. He'll be a solid player, and he
is a solid player.
If you got him, if he is, and if you got him in certain roles, in certain situations, on a certain team, that he can succeed. He'll never be great. To see my whole thing, and I'm kind of upset with Ben. I always thought he had the skill set and the ability to be great, but
I think that's that way with a lot of players, though. Like honestly, would Klay Thompson have been as great if he wasn't with Steph and that squad? No. But that's what I'm saying. It's like that sometimes.
No.
But with that team, everybody talking about how he's a Hall of
Steph
Famer
Curry right now, or what he really is.
You talk about one game.
I'm saying
I don't understand how the two correlate.
I'm telling you how it coincides, because sometimes, like, you do got some dudes that's just going to be great, whoever they are, wherever they are. They're going to do whatever they do. But then you do have a lot of players.
Skill set to me.
But you have a lot of players, and maybe not even skill set. Like sometimes it's just some Bulls, like they just play better in a different environment. It could be coaching.
No, he don't have the skill set, because part of the skill set would be shooting, so he don't.
Okay, so that's the one skill set he don't have. He has defense. He has ball handling. He has he can see the floor, make assists. Like that's what I'm saying.
I want to be.
He just don't have.
I don't want to get lost in too much time with Ben Simmons. That was
Sam Cassell. It's a
Don't
sign
nobody
to
care
Ben
about
Simmons.
Tobias. Tobias stunk. We know it.
No, I'm talking about the whole shooting. First of all, Tobias stunk, and that's your man. So we're gonna dig.
Oh, you can do whatever you want. I've been told you that he
Is he the
That's your
biggest
man,
waste of
Dwayne.
He gotta play
$180 million?
better.
Because that was your man.
That was your man.
Yeah,
That
when he
was
first
your
when
bull.
he first came to the team, yup. When he came from the
You
Clippers,
bigged up
yup.
$180 million.
Mm-hmm.
And they was pushing the rock out to him, clank.
And you was hyping Al Horford when we got him. So now what?
No.
All right.
I wasn't.
Only people that was ripping them was me and Ethan. So
No.
now y'all can go ahead. Y'all was Big Al. So now what?
Listen,
What?
I still don't rip Big Al. I think Big Al was coached wrong for one, Brett Brown, and for two, I just think he was paid too much. I think that was the problem to me with Big Al. But as regards to Tobias, the sad part was Tobias actually started off hot. He started off 3 for 3. He was hitting, and then all of a sudden he just
missed
went.
every other shot.
Yes, he did. He just went
not a
ice
money-
cold.
And they was wide open.
They was
bro.
wide
Like,
open.
Money player. He's not a
Wide
money
open.
player.
But in all fairness, there's a lot of dudes that was off. Seth was off. Do you expect Seth to be bricking like he was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Danny
Kobe's
Green, we already know. We talked
untradeable.
about what he was.
Hey,
but-
this is Seth's seventh team in the NBA. He's been there for the year for 7 years. So maybe he is who he is.
I mean, he showed us he could shoot. Last year, he led the league in 3-point percentage. So
then they traded him.
I'm expecting. I mean, I don't think they didn't trade him. Was he a free agent?
No, he
I
got
think he was
traded
free
for
agent, wasn't he?
That's right for Richardson, right?
Mm.
Richardson actually looked pretty good in his debut with Dallas yesterday.
So
But I
I didn't
mean,
think Richardson was all
really-
that bad. I thought that was another product of Brett Brown's system.
he actually played pretty well. I forget his stat. I think he had double digits. He was actually balling pretty
So
nice.
Seth went 1 for 5 yesterday. Danny Green went 0 for 4, and Tobias went 0 for 4 from 3-point line. So we missed a bunch of threes.
And it was open, and it was a bunch of open joints we missed
Yeah.
too.
So I think it was just the first game. Overall, I'm happy. I'm happy with the Bull Maxi. The Bull Maxi, he has a little like an Iverson type. Real easy to get to.
Don't do that. Don't do
No,
All right, but just no, I wouldn't see you're going too far. I would say Maxi actually, truth be told, reminds me a little bit of like almost like a Ja Morant type.
I got the same vibe.
Yeah, like on that type tip. What's the other dude we passed on for who came out the year, Markel?
You talking about
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox, exactly on that vibe a little bit. I think I'm liking it. He came in, showed a lot of heart. He fast, he quick. I think who was it? Kyler Perry who told Doc to go ahead and grab him up.
His
But-
jump shot looked ugly though.
His jump shot do look a little flicked. I agree with that. It looked a little flicked. He launched a long three though.
He did.
He got a fancy jump shot.
It ain't
wasn't
that.
fault. I ain't even talking about necessarily the form of it. It just looked nasty. Like when it got to the basket, it looked. You know how sometimes the joint, like Ephraim was saying, like you seen a couple of joints, like Seth shot, and it was like rattling in and out.
Yeah.
Like, even a couple of Toby joints, like rattling in and out. Like that boy joint, it was like after it left, it was like, no, I don't think that's.
Yeah, that's like
First of all,
clang.
Ephraim, you bigged up Josh too much. He had, in 36 minutes, he had 12 points, 5 for 11.
Talking about Ja Morant.
No, you talking about Josh Richardson.
Josh Richardson.
Oh no, I said he played decent. That's why I said he played decent. But,
That's about what he gave us.
but you know what? You know who to add a little insult to injury, and I never let Brett Brown let us down. Mikal Bridges
What'd he do?
was balling yesterday. 18 points, 7 rebounds. He blocking shots. He all over he was the 3 and D dude. He would have honestly, truth be told, we'd have never had to get Tobias Harris if we'd have kept him.
Yeah,
That's
4 for 7 behind the arc.
absolutely.
what you say,
He
Ethan.
was 4 for 7.
That's what I'm saying. He was hitting the 3. He was playing defense. He was all over the place, man. He's cheaper, he's better, and he's younger than Tobias.
You saying he's cheaper now, but if he
dude.
keeps balling like that, he won't be.
But I'm saying right now, we would have to pay him now.
Oh, no. I agree with. Remember, I think I almost had a conniption that night when we were sitting up there because when they made the draft because we was just coming off of when Rocco had his playoff kerfuffle.
Yeah.
And we was ripping him, and then it was like, oh, we got the boy to replace him now. I was like, we got a younger version of him, and then they traded him.
It was perfect.
It was perfect. Everything was lined up. His mom.
And now the player we trade him for, I don't even think he exists anymore. The boy we traded him for, what's his name? Zaire Smith.
Zaire Smith.
I don't even know if he's still in the league. Like
he in the E League. But are y'all concerned about Tobias? Not Tobias, but Thibault. You think he can get back into like the rotation? Because it seemed like he's. I know he had a foot injury early on.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I mean, whose spot is he taking?
Korkmaz.
Green.
Korkmaz, Danny Green. But see, Danny,
I mean,
I think Danny Green is more of like that veteran presence, though.
The only thing about Korkmaz, Korkmaz can't hit a three here and there. Can Thibault?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's a good.
Korkmaz, but
I don't know if Thibault's a good enough shooter. Right now, let me ask you this: what do you think Thibault does better than Korkmaz?
Wait, say that again.
What do you think Thibault does better than Korkmaz?
Defense.
Okay, and that's what I was going to say.
And I think he drives and penetrates. But
so now, but if you feel like you got enough defense on the floor and you need some scoring, you're not going to play Thibault because you want some more instant offense from Korkmaz. So you feel you got defense in shape. You feel let's say your lineup is Shake coming off the bench. You got Dwight, you got Shake. You may still have Danny in the game or whoever your other players are, Tobias, whoever. You may think I have enough defense, but I need some more offense. You gonna go with Korkmaz? I go with Korkmaz if Thibault's not giving you enough in practice. If you're not seeing this boy stepping up offensively in practice, you gonna go with Kork.
Oh, y'all cool with Kork? Y'all was ready to bury him like before the season.
No, I'm just kind of weighing the options here.
I know I'm trolling.
You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, I think the time if you're looking for offense, just for offense, period, I think Maxey would be more of an offensive threat and give you probably a little bit more defense than Thibault. Is he going to shoot the three better than Korkmaz? No. Right now, no. But I think he can still give you more offense in general, and then maybe still add a little bit more defense because he's quick. So I mean, we'll see how he plays defense as the season goes on. If he could, ramp it up some. But
Maxey kind of looked like he needs to be a ball dominant player. To me, it looks like I'm not saying that that's a bad thing necessarily, but like you said about Ja Morant, if you look at Ja Morant game, he does a lot of handling of the rock and you know what I'm saying, and getting everybody into and stuff. So I don't know if how well that will work with this team because I think Shake needs the ball in his hands a lot.
Real quickly, just to touch on the Wizards before we roll out there. What y'all think about the Wizards, this new 2020 Wizards team? How y'all like Bradley Beal and Westbrook together?
Hold on. By the way, let me say this, Tim, before you ask that question. I remember last year I said Ja Morant was that boy. Who hated on me? Who hated on me, Wayne? I know. Who hated on me?
Who hated on you?
It was probably your brother.
Ethan hated. Ethan hated.
Remember we was talking about how tough he was and like,
wait a minute. Y'all was saying this boy was Allen Iverson.
No. I say you're balling.
We was talking about rookie of the year. We was talking about rookie of the year.
No, you wasn't. They wasn't. They was saying he's Allen Iverson. He's the next superstar. I said, hold on, just relax. Let me
finish.
I'm about to screenshot.
Terry had 42.
Let me finish my point.
Terry had 42.
Ja Morant had 44 and 9 last night.
He balled
easy.
Did they win?
All right, we cutting out here.
Did they?
We're about to cut out. We'll be on the Sixers. We'll be on.
Yeah, they lost, but he still had 44 and 9.
We'll be on briefly. Do y'all want to get y'all projections before we roll out? What's your projections for the year for the Sixers?
I don't even know how many games we play.
I think we can get 50. I'm going with 58. I'm gonna go high.
58 wins out of 72 games.
I swear we did projections already in the podcast.
Did we? Oh, yeah. I remember.
All right. I think we're gonna win like 48 games. I can say 48.
Oh, you kind of low.
Out of 72 games?
50. Yeah, it's
kind of.
They give you a record of like what? Minus the 72? What does that put you at? Somebody quick math on that.
All right, we can.
10, 52, 62.
All right, so catch us after the game. Don't forget to like the videos, subscribe.
Or something like that.
So we on Saturday? Are we going live Saturday after the game?
Saturday live after the game. We'll be on here to talk some Knicks Sixers to see how we do. Hopefully Ben gets a triple-double.
Better win.
We'll be out here. But thanks. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe. We out.
Later.
And share.